Hi, so we're the Photon Phoenixes, and our model is called Simply Law. It's basically a suite of programs that provides accessible, accurate, and easily understandable legal information. So we have about like 6 models, about each accepting different forms of input to give legal advice. So this is our team. We are consisting of 5 high schoolers and 1 middle schooler who built this during the 3-week AI camp program.
So I'm Nate. I'm going to be a junior next year, and I came up with the idea for the legal assistant. I debugged some of our broken models. I compiled the data sets, including some of the question answer data sets, and I designed our Simply Law logo. And I coded and trained our Simply Law model, which is one of our six models.
Hello, I'm Carissa. I am a rising freshman, and I created the question answering model with Haystack. And I created the data sets for it. One with a simple explanation of federal laws, and one as a training with question answer pairs.
Hi, I'm Victoria. I'm a rising senior, and I worked on designing the entire website.
Hi, my name is Shlok. I'm a rising 8th grader. I worked on the text generation model and also assisted with the text classification model.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Aadi and I'm a rising sophomore. I worked on the law summarization model and the real law model.
I'm Anwar Rehman. I'm going into my sophomore year, and I built the text classification model along with creating our mascots Frederick and Bertrick.
Okay. So first off, the 2 models that I worked on were the law summarization model and the real law model. So for the law summarization model, you input some amount of text and it summarizes it in the basic idea of it and an in-depth summarization of it as well. So right here, I have a excerpt from Article 1 of the Constitution, and I'm going to summarize it. And as you can see, it says, it summarizes the basic idea. The main mission of the legislative body is to make laws. And it also has an in-depth summarization as well. The other model I worked on was the real law model. The real law model takes a statement of a law that you put in and returns if it's true or false. For instance, if I put in, it is illegal to wear a bow tie in public, then it'll say false with 61.7% confidence. Now, if I also put in, it is illegal to drink and drive, like this, then it will say true with 56.9% confidence. The confidence percentage kind of looks kind of weird because it doesn't seem that confident, but that's due to like lack of training, because I only trained it with 200 laws for both categories, for both real laws and fake laws. So to make it more effective, I will have to add more laws. Okay, well, next up is Carissa.
Hello, I worked on the question and answer model. You can ask it any question regarding the legal field and receive an accurate and straightforward answer. I could not deploy my model because it needs a text file to work. So I have it on Google Colab. I used Haystack to train and run my model. And I used the farm reader to train it, which is used for large data sets. I used 2 files to train and run my model. I used a training file with question and answer pairs to improve performance. And this is an example. Had around like 4 questions per law, and some had multiple answers. And then I also had a large text data set which included many laws from multiple legal fields like health, education, and labor. And an example of running it be, what is the legal age for drinking? And then it will run its prediction and give you an answer. And it can also work with misspelling errors. So if you ask what amendment gave women the right to vote with some misspelling, it can still give an accurate answer. And yeah, that's my model.
All right, let me share my screen here. All right, so if you click on the text classification, it'll take you to Colab because Replit needs to make money somehow, and there wasn't enough space to import the model. So anyway, if you want to demo this, you just run this first block, import your own Hugging Face token, run this block, and this one. So here you just have to give like a basic description of a law, and I have a few prepped here, so let's try this one. So obviously this is going to be a law pertaining to tax. So it should output tax. This one is going to be education. So if you run that again, it's an education law. And this one doesn't actually contain the word family, unlike these two, but it's a family law, right? So let's see how it deals with that. And family. So that's the text classification model. Thank you.
Okay, next we'll be looking at the text generation model. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so for the text generation model, over here, you just try the model. However, once again, we cannot deploy it onto the website because it took up too much space. Because this is some of our models are Keras and TensorFlow models, meaning they could not be deployed onto Hugging Face and then onto Replit. So we had to just keep them on Colab. So here I pre-ran all the blocks. So this is a TensorFlow and Keras model. I trained it over 500 epochs, which is basically how many times it goes through the training. I trained it over so many because I tried a smaller number before. However, the loss, which determines how accurate it was too high. So I increased the number of epochs. So here so here's where you put your input. So I have a few prepared once again. So smoking in public places is not allowed is one of the inputs. So if I just put that in here, it'll start a sentence with that, and then it'll return, it'll continue that sentence. So smoking in public places is not allowed. So sometimes it's not the most accurate model as it can make spelling mistakes, but it'll give like different models. It'll give different they give different things related to that. So for example, so smoking in public places is not allowed. It'll risk injury. So as you can see, there are some errors, but it'll also give some, for example, mental health screening in schools, healthy aging programs. So it works, but it's not the most accurate. And one other example is I can put in all individuals must receive recommended vaccinations, and then my output will be, wait for it to run. So must receive recommended vaccinations preventing antibiotic resistance, and then it'll also give it'll give different things like clean needle exchange programs. So yeah, and then for one final example, if I say employers are obligated to maintain safe working conditions. Yeah, it'll output saying to implement safety protocols, and then it'll make some spelling errors, but overall it's if I am trained over more epochs and then put more data, because this is only 100 laws, there would not have been these errors. But yeah, it works, and yeah.
So this is my model. It's called Pile of Law. I can't put it on the website because Replit needs to make money, so it doesn't have enough resources to be able to run it. And Colab can't run it either because it runs out of GPU when I do it. So this is just my model. It runs through pipeline and it uses a data set from Hugging Face called Pile of Law. It's a BERT model that is pretty much all of the ones we had before, all in one. And at the very end of it, it should, when it's running properly, answer all the questions. Any question you have lost about a law. Pretty okay, I'm running out of space here. But yeah, it's just trained on all these different data sets from the Pile of Law sort of compiled data set from Hugging Face. And yeah, it's not working at the moment because it takes 128 hours to try to load the data set. So yeah, that's mine.
Okay, and finally, I'll show you the resources we use for this. So we use the AI Camp website. So here's like some of the data sets. So we had to take a variety of data sets from a bunch of websites and combine them. So one of the obstacles that we faced was that finding like accurate data sets, but these are how we divide it and like basically where we got them from. Next, this is our Hugging Face Hugging Face link. So as you can see, for example, the real law one, it has this deploy option on there. However, if you go to for example, the text gen one, it doesn't. So that's why we couldn't put it onto our website. And then finally, for this is a list of our Google collabs we use for our code if you want to check it out later. Thank you.